My name is Judy Musick. I'm one of the teachers at Bree Academy. I'm going to tell you a little bit about who I am, my background, and I'm going to start with a question. Do you like to argue? I do. When I was little, I had a reputation, well-deserved reputation, in my small group of friends as being the friend who loved a debate, who loved an argument. And even in elementary school, I would argue all the time, whether it's about what was the best lunch meat, who was the favorite teacher at school, what was the best band that was playing. I just really enjoyed arguing. And most of the time, I won the arguments. And when I say I won, I mean that the people that were listening to myself and the other person that had been arguing would say that Judy had won the argument. But you know what? My closest friends in elementary school started to not enjoy my argumentative nature. In fact, they would see me coming and they could tell by the expression on my face if I was itching for a verbal battle. And they would say, lecture look, watch out, Judy's got that lecture look. And I learned something in elementary school, and that is winning an argument does not mean that other people think you said something better than somebody else. That's losing, because that means the other person feels inferior, you feel prideful, and there's no progress. Argumentation is not about one person winning and one person losing. It's about using reason and rationale and communication to deliver an important message that everybody can move forward with to take progress. Well, after my friends started saying, lecture look, I toned down the argumentative part of my nature, and I still thought the thoughts in my head, but kept to myself quite a bit more. And I was pretty sure that I was destined for a career in law because, like I said, I was really good at putting forth my arguments, and I could imagine myself in a courtroom and had these grandiose and romantic ideas of what that might be like. And then when I was in high school, we had a lawyer come and speak to our youth group. And he told me that in the justice system, the one side presents their case, their argument, and the other side presents their case, their argument, and the two arguments push against each other, and wherever is the standing place where that push and pull lands is the definition of justice. And I said, well, what about what's true? And he said, truth is not always the final result of justice in this kind of format. And that really bothered me. That really concerned me, because if I am not on a pursuit of truth, I don't want to land somewhere just because somebody had a better argument than I did. And in fact, that night, I changed my idea of what I wanted to do with my life, and I gave up the idea of a career in law, because it's really important to be able to present truth in a way that people will be persuaded, will be affected, will be provoked, and can move forward in a positive direction. That kind of argumentation is what we are learning in the Christian Authors AP Language and Composition class. Now, we are using fabulous, intelligent Christian minds and their writings as the raw material for our study of argumentation. We're going to be looking at G.K. Chesterton. We're going to be looking at C.S. Lewis. We're going to be looking at Flannery O'Connor, a couple of our other authors here, Madeleine L'Engle, George MacDonald. Some of the literature we're going to be reading is fiction, is fantastical, and some of it is going to be nonfiction. There's a lot of nonfiction in this course, but we're going to use these authors and see how they so eloquently presented truth. And we're going to compare that sort of argumentation with different essays and pieces of literature that come from non-Christian sources and see what is it that we as people of faith want to do with our words so that we can assemble and create arguments that will not put somebody down, but will bring them to a knowledge of the truth and be able to pull them forward in the direction of truth and God's plans and God's purposes. This is an upper level course. It is not for the faint of heart, but I guarantee we're going to have a lot of fun. We are going to learn to argue in the best way.